Arnab, you were riveting and honest and authentic that you normally are. And I was telling Arnab, when I grow up, I want to be like him. But maybe another life, maybe not in this life. I don't want to give him competition. If I was an anchor, you know Rajiv Jain, I'd be better than him, right? You'd like me. Arnab, really, you said we want a conversation, so I'll ask you 3 quick questions and get the audience in. You know, yesterday Mukesh Ambani was at an event, and when he was asked by a leading news person that what does he watch on Indian television? What does he watch on Indian news television? He said, I only watch Arnab's show, right? You know that you are a celebrity in a way. There are people who look up to you. There are people who want to meet you. There are people who want to share their point of view, their stories, their pain points with you. How does it feel when you're in such a position to influence the policymakers of the country? How do you feel that responsibility, and how do you make sure every night when you go to sleep, what do you think?
I don't feel any responsibility, to be very honest. I just do my program and the rest follows. I mean, if there is somebody who's going to listen, the person will listen. If they don't listen, then I don't bring my ego into the picture. And I don't say, oh, why is that person not listening? The problem in our business, Anurag, is when you bring your ego, अपना जो अहम होता है ना, उसको हम लाते हैं. And then we begin to think कि मेरी बात क्यों नहीं सुन रहा है? So for me, it ends when we do the story. So suppose Lalit Gate, nobody noticed it, it's fine. My conscience is clear. I've done it well. Because it involves Sushma Swaraj, I haven't gone really soft. Or because it involves Suresh Kalbari. Just do your job and move on. Simple.
You know, you talk about being soft, and some people privately said this to me yesterday. By the way, initially, you know, he's the only person in this room who has a Z-class security.
Please no,
right?
Please don't spread rumors like that. Absolutely not.
Yeah, and you know, me and Sabas were planning to do it because we would look like his bodyguards. But then Sabas chickened out. But you know, we are at an event, association event. We are at an experiential marketing event. Your news stories mostly revolve around events. What happens in a day when you don't have an event, when there is no calamity that has happened or no scandal? How do you manufacture an event? How do you manufacture an event when there's no event?
See, one don't manufacture.
Manufacture in the sense,
we don't manufacture. But I'll tell you, there is never a day when there is no event. And sometimes when you feel there is no event, then you ask yourself, why is there no event? Because I'm only looking at X, Y, and Z. So I expect. See, what happens is, you are right in a way, because 15 years back, there were days when you would scratch your head in a newsroom and say, koi story nahi hai. Now, I'll tell you one small example. I'll take 1 minute. There was a day like this in 2012 or 11, when there was a day before Christmas, half our office had gone on leave, and few of us were sitting there saying, koi story nahi hai. And then we started going through the news list. And we saw that there was a case which was in Lakhimpur Kheri. I forgot the name of the specific place, where a girl, she was raped
by the
local MLA,
yeah.
Right? And when she went to the police station, the local MLA was from BSP, Mayawati was in power. When she went to the police station, the police officer called the family of the MLA, and instead of arresting the MLA, they arrested the girl on charges of theft, this, that, whatever, put it in. Now what happened is that when we picked up that story, it became a national campaign. This was 1 year before Nirbhaya. And a whole national media came there to fight for justice for the 16-year-old girl. Eventually, the girl came out, the MLA went in, and the girl formed a group called the Nagin Group. 16, 17 to 20-year-old girls. These girls would dress in black. And these teenage girls would go from village to village helping other victims of sexual assault, rape, etc. Now, imagine the power of that story. If you tell me, compared to a big announcement by a minister, which is more important, I said this is more important. Absolutely. So what is wrong is that when we define what is news, then we have no story. When we actually think of people, people are living their lives, experiencing pain every day. You'd leave me alone in this room, I will find 20 stories just talking to people. But we as journalists have stopped talking to people. We talk only to ourselves. We go to press club, we go to our events, we meet our set of people, we talk to politicians, and that's where we seek our relevance. When you seek your relevance from people, then it's a different ball game, you know.
You know, Arnab, you've always been very upfront, honest, and I have lots of conversations with you. Yesterday, again, I was talking to a set of people sitting in the front row somewhere, and one of them said that you're very soft on the Prime Minister. You know, you go after very important cabinet ministers' issues, but when it comes to the Prime Minister, he seems to be a holy cow.
No,
What
no,
do you have to say?
By that logic, even Rahul Gandhi was a holy cow. I was softer with the Rahul Gandhi. See,
He was a Gwachi cow.
Oh?
No, I'm kidding. Confused cow, not a holy cow. But
No, you see, one thing. So this question has to be answered. Most people had a problem that I called Mr. Narendra Modi Mr. Prime Minister.
absolutely.
And if you noticed, every time I was asking him Mr. Prime Minister. Now, unfortunately, there is a set of people in our country who want me to be offensive to the Prime Minister and not call him Mr. Prime Minister. If they have a problem with Narendra Modi being Prime Minister, it is their private problem.
Absolutely.
They should not drag that to me. I am a journalist. If I would call my country's Prime Minister Mr. Prime Minister. If I call, Angela Merkel, or somebody else from another country as Mr. President, Mr. Chancellor, or Mr. Prime Minister, then I have a problem. But I don't think there's anything wrong in that. Second question is on tone. See, an interview, you're talking like this.
Right.
How do you want me to talk to you, Anurag? Now, Anurag, I put you in two boxes. You experienced me when you came on my show recently on another subject. I was not nice to you. But I was actually not shouting at you. I was trying to make myself heard to you. You are sitting there completely blind in a camera. So when there are 8 people in boxes, you are basically shouting to be heard to each one of them. On a one-on-one situation, you don't have to be very loud. And I ask the same questions in the same style to Rahul Gandhi. As I say to the Congress guys, that I am not responsible for how your leader speaks. I am not responsible for how your leader responds. So I think you just compare Rahul Gandhi and Modi. I was speaking in the same tone to both.
How do you think our Prime Minister is doing?
I think he's doing okay.
He's doing okay.
I think he's doing okay. And I think on a medium to long-term horizon, and I have no qualms in saying this. You see, this business of a journalist should not say he's okay. He should say, I don't know. I will not say it. I think the Prime Minister is doing okay. I think there are challenges on the social front. I am equally concerned about it. Socially, I'm a liberal. I am for all the things that the RSS sometimes opposes. And I have been the loudest for Shani Shignapur as well as for Haji Ali.
Absolutely.
And on our channel, we've carried out a campaign for triple talaq. And I am for the Uniform Civil Code, and I've said it's a good thing. Now, I'm sticking my neck out. Doesn't mean that a person who disagrees with me doesn't come on my program. I think it's magical that in this city and in this country, in 3 months of a story on Haji Ali, the Mumbai High Court actually delivers a verdict. And I saw a follow-up today where women will go to Haji Ali, and I think that's beautiful. So I think there are a lot of things on which I disagree with some people who are close to the establishment, whereas on security issues, on economic issues, I think they're on the right track. So that's
fantastic.
What I think.
My last question.
Yeah.
You talked about the fact that when you started Times Now, it was not of immediate runaway success. It took you a while to figure out what works, what doesn't. And you talked about your ambition of building a global, direct-to-audience, credible, independent product. There are lots of entrepreneurs in this room. There are a lot of people who want to make an impact like you do. What is the advice? And you've been very entrepreneurial in building Times Now. I mean, today Times Now is a big brand, but ARNAB is an equally big or bigger brand. I was telling some of the friends in the industry that Times Now should be called ARNAB now. And just to tell you, in 1 year, his show, the 2 hours of his show, get 100+ crores of advertising. That 2 hours on Times Now get 100 crores of advertising. It mostly comes from your company and the creative pursuit you do. So the 2 people who are responsible. So what do you have to say to these people who want to make impact, who want to scale up, who want to be leaving their companies, leaving their bosses and start out?
There are far more better entrepreneurs than me in this room, better business heads. I'm not going to give unsolicited advice. But I have one learning is that always accept your faults. I made so many mistakes, but I corrected myself quickly. Don't get your ego into the game. Build partnerships with good people over a long time. Don't compromise your ethics, but don't make too much of a plan. The problem is everybody can build, any global company on a piece of paper. It never happens that way. Plans never work. You have the passion in the business and build a team around it. Forget the plan. Rest will follow.
Fantastic,
Thank
Arnab.
you.
Please give him a big round of applause.
Thank you.
ARNAB GOSWAMI live
Thank
for
you.
you, and we can
Thank
take
you.
some
Thank you.
questions. Kubra.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much. I'm not sure if we have time for... Okay, 2 questions. Yes, sir.
Hi, Arnab. My name is Karan.
Hi, Karan. Hello.
Hi. Is it true you are the first journalist who actually got trained in 38 chambers of Shaolin in China?
Was it after your show or after?
I practice it every
No, this
night.
is just a joke, but
Every
with all
night.
your...
Every night.
No. On a serious note, would you consider being a motivational speaker for events?
Sure, no problem. I don't think mine is a great story, but I'm willing.
You're
to
talking to his
I
manager.
don't know. I'm
I
not
think you should talk to his manager.
I thought everybody thought I was very demotivating on my.
I think you should
I
talk to his
think,
manager, okay?
I think the kind of...
But if you let me plug my dream of an independent digital and global media, I will come.
By the way, yesterday I was talking to a person called Mr. Jain, one other person, and he said he has Z-class security.
No, yeah,
Who will
don't
kill
say
him? I
this.
said his fellow journalists may, the people of India may not.
No, I don't have.
Yeah,
I don't have any Z-class security or
Hi, Arnab.
Y-class or anything. Yeah. No, I don't have Y.
Arnab, hi. Rajiv Jain is my name.
Hello, Rajiv.
James Bond. Jain Bond.
Nothing personal, but अगर आपको लगता है हिंदुस्तान की किसी भी कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी से आप खड़े हो गए इलेक्शन लड़ने के लिए तो आपको वोट मिलेंगे?
मैं खड़ा नहीं हूँगा ना because I can't.
आपके हिसाब से सारे पॉलिटिशियन गलत हैं, सब कुछ गलत होता है हिंदुस्तान के अंदर. But I think our economy is the best in the world just now. Highest revenues, highest advertising revenues. We are the fastest growing economy. पर आप इतना negative बोलते हैं, मतलब do you feel that's right?
See, ये negative नहीं है. If you think about it.
एक पॉजिटिव इंटरव्यू बताओ सर आपको.
मैं आपको नहीं, आपका सवाल अच्छा है, बट आई टेल यू वन थिंग, इसको नेगेटिव मत समझिए, क्योंकि अगर हम जैसे इफ वी बिकम ऑस्ट्रिचेस एंड वी रिफ्यूज टू एक्सेप्ट द रियलिटी, वी विल नेवर चेंज इट. If you feel the road is okay, there is no pothole, it's just the experience I'm having of a pothole, that you never cover the pothole. I believe that a lot is wrong, but I believe in accelerated change. And media, television, digital is a beautiful business to build that change. आप ये सोचिए कि मैं ये सब निकाल लेता हूँ. चलो आपको मैं सवाल पूछता हूँ अभी. I take all of this away. I remove this concept of News Hour Times. So चलिए है नहीं, it was a bad dream that you had. And I give you back this country. I give you back this country without any of the scams, without VVIP racism, without any of the campaigns, without people getting so angry in 26/11 that they came out on their own. On Bombay, people influence foreign policy in this country. We even take out our follow-ups of Pakistan and we say we are living on a fraternal equation with Pakistan. What if I remove everything I've ever done? Will it become a better country? But if I put in what we have done, will it work towards being a slightly better country? See, I have no illusions that I'm sole agent of change. But I believe that we are a force multiplier in our society. So I say that when I've come to this audience, for example, I've connected with 300-400 people in this room. 200 may not like it, but even if 100 people feel that there is some solidity to my reasoning, they might go away with some feeling. And I'm only trying to be contagious in that sense. But I'm very, very, very positive. अच्छा, ये politics वाला सवाल तो मैंने TV पे बोल दिया है. I have dissociated myself from. My family has represented every political party in this country since independence. So I have no interest, illusion. I have disowned all of that publicly. That's not going to happen.
आप उसके लिए वोट करेंगे अगर ये खड़े होंगे? करेंगे कि नहीं करेंगे? Raji. Prasoon wants to last question before he runs away. आप vote करेंगे प्रसून के लिए. Very good.
And
So okay, let's take this poll. How many, if he stood for election in your, how many of you would vote for him?
Please. Oh, please.
Rajiv, he'd win hands down,
Thank
right?
you, thank you,
So one last question we can take. And,
yeah.
It's the same thing. He's already answered it. I was asking, after all the three, I mean, the independent journalism, becomes a reality in terms of digital and everything else.
Yes.
Would you ever consider genuinely getting into politics in the sense to lead the country? I mean, that was the question.
Answer is no. I will not do it fundamentally.
Okay.
Because I will have to make some compromises I don't want to. And I'm a realist in that sense. Point number 2, I will build a global media platform from India, which hopefully will be my service to the country, so that when we go out, we can watch global news made by Indians in an international way for the world. So yeah, I have that ambition. If I can achieve even 50% of that ambition, I won't want to do anything else. I'd be happy to.
I thought a channel like this was launched 2 months back, called Vion, which 6 people watch every year. No, okay.
The
Okay.
mic is there with me.
But
I'll end with the question. Last question I want to ask is, what is that? I mean, they talked about negativity and everything, and I have been working with you on many things where we celebrate also. We just celebrated the girl child and the women winning Olympics. What is that most positive thing happening in this country according to you? And you have such a long career.
Fantastic.
What is that one thing which you think makes you feel very optimistic towards the country?
The one thing without doubt, Prasoon, which makes me optimistic is that religious prejudice is being challenged. because nobody questions the Pandits, the Maulanas in our country. And they get away with a lot. And under the garb of religion, a lot of wrong things happen. I'm saying both Hinduism and sometimes the change happens without media influence, like in 2005, daughters got equal share in property under the Hindu Code Bill. There was no social movement or media there. But Shani Shignapur, Haji Ali, agar aap keh rahe hain, triple talaq, a 15-year-old girl getting married off. I want everyone, if you
what happened with the Jain girl?
And then this Jain girl at the age of 13, and then the Jain community saying, don't interfere, which means we can kill off our own daughters, but you don't interfere. So I wish we should do a stronger campaign against the Jain girl dying. So I believe in social areas is where we have the maximum impact. I agree with the gentleman there, economy is on the right track, security-wise we are making the right moves. But if I can help in that direction of actually getting some gender justice, equality, a feeling of oneness in this country, I think that will be our greatest contribution. और वो हो भी रहा है प्रसून, and it's happening very quickly. So I feel positive.
Can I just? I'm sorry. I know there is no time, but Arnab, I have to ask you this because I was hoping I would get to do that on stage with you because I don't think you get grilled. I saw an interview where you took on the fact that Pakistani artists visited India. We saw that on screen, and that time you were supporting the fact that why was Shiv Sena after them visiting here? That was your viewpoint. Now suddenly your viewpoint has completely changed because the political sentiment and the public sentiment in the country is largely against, you gauge that it is against that. Why this change of view?
There's no change. Where is the I'll tell you why there's no change. My view on that case of blackening the face is that the act of blackening a face is a weak man's expression. So we sat here in Mumbai, we took on the Shiv Sena on that, which is not outside of the establishment. Shiv Sena is part of the establishment. So that charge of you don't take on the establishment. Second, that happened when the BJP was in power. Third, there are a lot of people who have the public sentiment at that time, it was not bad to blacken his face. I went against that public sentiment. Now, in the present context, what am I saying? Am I saying ban a film? No. But I'm saying, is it too much to expect a Pakistani star to speak in the same tone and tonality about what has happened in Uri as what has happened in Peshawar? Because when Peshawar happened, I began my program by saying the people of India weep for children are being killed. And this same people, these same Pakistani stars recorded a song, went on Twitter. Orlando mein shootout hota hai, to Fawad and all these people put out their expressions on Twitter. How is it that when Uri happens, you suddenly feel that you have no views, it is a political statement? So I asked Saeed Mirza the same question. I said, Mr. Mirza, you say that politics should be separated from, should not be linked with the arts. In that case, Mr. Mirza, why did you ask for a boycott of an Israeli theater company when it came to India? At that time, you linked your politics with art. My position is simple, Roshan. My position is against terrorism. Terrorism, simple. Terrorism can affect any of us. We go out from here to the airport.
For once, let somebody else speak. No, ek bar. इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ. No, because what you said is fine.
आप college के senior हो sir.
That's the only reason. That's the only reason I'm taking a liberty. I just feel that sometimes our entertainment as an industry becomes a soft target because there's also cement, there's also petroleum. The dry fruit we're having here is most probably from Pakistan. It's a very big possibility. Why not go after those industries as well? Why does it only happen? I mean, I just find that
it's a simple answer. For इसको complicate करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. The simple question is that why don't you condemn terrorism when it happens in India? Let me put the question back to you. Why do these same guys remain abjectly quiet and they run away from this country? Am I saying ban his film? No. But why don't you speak a word? Now, okay, in your visa, it is not written that you have to stand up to India at every point of time, but I expect you that when my people are dying, you don't suddenly say, I'm not going to say anything. And don't, this argument that, oh, these poor guys cannot take on because they have to go back to their own country. When Peshawar happened, the Peshawar attack was carried out by the Tehreek-e-Taliban. You can speak against Tehreek-e-Taliban, which is one of the most dangerous outfits, killed Benazir Bhutto. But you won't speak out against a group which attacks our soldiers. So I'm bringing it down to the essence, Roshan, and I'm saying that if I can feel upset when Peshawar happens, why don't you feel upset when Uri happens, when Baramulla happens, when Handwara happens? That's all.
Thank you. Please give a big round of applause to the voice of change in India,
Thank
ARNAB
you, guys.
GOSWAMI.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your love. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. I'm going to invite on stage Harshal. Kothari, please, and Vinod Janardhan, both EMA members, to kindly felicitate Mr. Arnab Goswami. Kya catch tha, sir? Unbelievable. All right. Harsha. Vinod, here you are. Now you are. Thank you, Mr. Batra, for that beautiful. Do you really believe you want to grow up and be Mr. Arnab Goswami? I think that was beautiful. Thank you very, very much.